I got called out.
Can't disagree more. Not how I would order the mod. For f***'s sake, what happened?
Admitting when I'm wrong.
Now that I'm seeing those comments, I've realised that I probably should have mentioned that somewhere.
And setting the record straight where I'm not.
Some of them missed the point of that video. I've never said that you have to do this.
Plus a whole bunch of questions answered.
In the past few weeks, a few people have been triggered by some of the content. And it's mainly to do with all different cars because people get so opinionated when it comes to vehicles. On top of that, I did a 3-year plan. Some people had some really good feedback about that, constructive criticism that I think everyone needs to read in the comments. But also think some of them missed the point of that video. I've also handed the Ineos Grenadier ear back. It's no longer in my possession. However, I managed to do a 2,500 kilometre trip up to the Pilbara, the East Pilbara in Western Australia, and spent about a week up there putting it through its paces. That video
Was out last week, just in case you missed it.
When you see a sidestep on the track, that's when you know things are going to get interesting.
I should probably tell you now that I had some dodgy chicken last night.
The one that stirred people up.
What I'm about to show you is a 3-year plan which you can condense yourself or stretch out to suit your own budget needs. 3-year plan. They want to get it from there to there as fast as they can, but they also want to use it at the same time. That video was specifically targeted at people who wanted to build a vehicle from the base to get the ultimate tourer. Now, I've never said that you have to do this. You can go full driving without any mods at all. And that brings me to these comments straight away, hence why I'm wearing my glasses. There are 2 comments in particular that I think are really, really good. The first one, this is my favourite one. I've been doing it wrong for 40 years. I've been taking stock cars with AT tyres to almost every named destination in Australia, from the Victorian High Country to the Simpson Desert. My mate had done the same in a car with no low range. It's a laugh getting to a destination and we can almost park underneath the cars already there. I can't do extreme rock climbing, but I find that boring and it breaks the cars anyway. It's amazing where a stock vehicle can go. Totally agree. When I started, we had no money at all for that sort of stuff. We could barely afford the car and it was always a second handy. I chuckle when people say they need all this stuff to go full driving. I floated a VW Beetle across the river once. Having said that, I do enjoy your content. You haven't sold out and all the other stuff you say rings true from my personal experience. That, I would say, is the comment of the year for me. There are many more comments like this. It points out the fact that, does your 4-wheel drive need a mod to go off-road to begin with? No. Been cruising my 79 for 7 years with 33-inch tyres and stock suspension. Not how I would order the mods. In reference to how I order the mods, obviously.
This is what I thought of 33-inch tyres and stock suspension with the 76.
This time I thought I'd try some all-terrains instead of mud terrains. A 285 75 R16. It seems to be the perfect tyre and lift combo at this stage. It's on stock suspension. You can take anything out there and get it done. Have a good time, have an adventure. But not everyone's going to do that. This video was designed for people who wanted to build a car on a strict budget that's split over a couple of years, yet you want to use it off-road at the same time. That raises some questions and make their way to the ultimate tourer. Stock cars can go to 95% of places in Australia. 25% of those places, just throwing a rough number at you, you're risking it. You're risking it. And it's going to be not very comfortable depending on what type of vehicle you have. But you could seriously just grab an empty troopy and take it out bush. And the thing is, now that I'm seeing those comments, I've realised that I am targeting people who are new to the 4-wheel drive community. I probably should have mentioned that somewhere, that you don't need anything on your vehicle to go 4-wheel driving. However, I also don't want to send people out there telling them you don't need anything on your vehicle, because there's recovery gear, there's deflators, there's inflators. It's good for people to know.
And it will help prevent this situation.
Hello? Hello? Damn it, no reception. Most people enjoyed that content or actually found it useful. I mean, there's stacks of them here. I like these videos. The video came out just at the right time for this guy. It's funny when you say it seems obvious because it's easy to get distracted, and we all have that friend that says, no, you need this or that kind of thing, right? So, I mean, these are all the reasons why I brought this video out. It's educational content. So, you know, I haven't just cherry-picked all the good comments out. You know, there were some bad ones as well. This guy here, last known location. I think Ronny is grasping at straws for content. I wonder when the moment would come that he'd run out of ideas, and I think I just saw it. I subscribed when it was all about full driving trips, but those are far and few between now. To be honest, they've always been far and few between if you look at all the videos across. It's far from the opposite. I am time poor. Yeah, there is no shortage of ideas, but sometimes there is a short time period where I can't activate one of my ideas from the book. The book I have of written ideas from years and years ago as well, and I'm still putting stuff in there. You know what? I'm gonna make it my mission to start at the top and get those top ones ticked off, because there's some good stuff in there. Anyway, for f***'s sakes, what happened? Before lithium came out, did the world fall apart? I've been running a dual battery system, which is an AGM, for years without issues. And I've mounted my King's double thumper compressor, and it's faster than your $1,000 ARB twin compressor. Look, whatever works for you. I am not going to be the guy though who's going to recommend AGM to anyone. With the prices you can get lithium batteries for these days, they're very efficient for the price that you pay for them. And you're going to get way more out of it, and they're going to handle more. So I think AGM is like driving old stuff these days. Totally my opinion. And look, $1,000 for an ARB compressor, twin compressor, yeah, it is pretty high too, isn't it? But you know, it is what it is. And I'm sure that your double thumper compressor is faster, because the ARB twin compressor is not known for being very fast, but it's faster than a single ARB compressor, I can tell you that, because that's what I'm using at the moment. Some constructive feedback. Can't disagree more regarding your placement of snorkel on the list, Ronny. So I put the snorkel kind of towards, I think, the last stage.
The advanced, the ultimate tourer now.
Now, I do agree and also disagree with what he's saying, because it all depends on your situation. And that's the thing, this was just a sort of like a guide. And if you are going to do a lot of water crossings, and I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned that too,
You should have a fair idea of what you should need. If you're not planning on going through deep water crossings, then you don't need to really do anything about it.
so hopefully people can figure that out for themselves. But let's be honest, 90% of people who four-wheel drive are not going to need a snorkel. I do have some people who are a little bit upset. Can you bring back the longer trips again? These clickbait TikTok style videos aren't great. I appreciate the content, but I'm really missing the wheeling. The content is too much heavily focused on Ronny's advice. Please bring back the wheeling. This channel started as educational and the wheeling aspect at the same time. Believe me, what I get most enjoyment out of is being out there doing the trip and then also editing the trip after. That is fun, but not when you're under the pump. The other thing I really like as well though is the kick I get when I know that people are benefiting from the educational content. The educational content is the backbone of this channel. The trips I used to do, I never used to get many views for those back in the day. I mean, now I do, because I think I've adapted my editing style, and I enjoy the edits way more now. I look at my old stuff and I can't stand it. And that's the thing, I'm adapting, I'm changing as I'm going. But some people like the old stuff and want to stick with that. And I wonder, have they been around since the beginning, or have they just started watching and they just like the old stuff? I don't know. Let me know down below. What I mentioned just before was the kick I get out of people enjoying the content. And there's a style of content called evergreen, or I label it evergreen. It's always relevant. You can always go back and watch it like 8 years later. I can't remember how old this video is, but it's pretty damn old. It's got my old logos on it. Best video for four-wheel drive beginners I've seen. There is so much crap on YouTube to sift through. Most of them are trying to sell you expensive shit you don't need. Thanks, mate. That video is so old. And at the time, it didn't do much. But the thing is, because it's relevant and it's evergreen, it's always there. And it's always ticking over for the channel. I'm now going to fast track through some questions. And the questions involve air locker versus e-locker and a bunch of other stuff. Pete, speaking of builds, will we be seeing a summary of the 76 build episode in the near future? You will, because I will be taking that out with Chris's bloopy, you know, the troopy that he's built.
Well, that one's got nothing. Nothing apart from it. Well, it has got, it still moves. Yeah.
I think he's put more stuff on that vehicle in the last couple of weeks than I have in the entire time of having a 76. It's crazy how efficient he's been. The 76, as I said, after the Holland track, it's pretty close to completion, just a couple of things. Shadow682, YouTube member, frequent commenter as well. Did you keep the plates off the 79? No, I feel like they belonged with the vehicle, so they're with the vehicle. Do those armrests fit on any four-wheel drive or only Land Cruisers? They fit on most four-wheel drives. I'm glad you asked. It's almost like I asked you to ask me that question. Terry wants to know, Harrop E-lockers or ARB air lockers? The way that I would go would be the E-lockers. I've had air lockers before. Once that airline has been sitting there for a while, it gets hit by something, it just leaks air. And I had one on my N70 Hilux, which was a petrol one as well, bloody good car though. It had a leak in the rear locker, then a leak in the front locker, then I did a CV in the front. Well, not completely, but enough so I had to put it in two-wheel drive and try and escape this muddy area I was in. Since that episode, experience I should say, never going near an air locker, ever again. Of course, I had to pull out a Grenadier question because I just handed a Grenadier back. The more I drive mine, the more I like it. Recently, we did a couple of rougher tracks with friends and other vehicles. The Grenadier was the only vehicle that did not even need a second go at any obstacle. My confidence in this vehicle continues to grow, really reflecting the experience that I had in the Grenadier as well. Yeah, there wasn't many things that needed to have two bites at. In the Pilbara, there was one section it did need two bites at, but so did the 76. You'll see that in an episode coming up. Philip King, another locker question. My Tacoma comes with electric rear diff locker. It's basically an e-locker. Is an air locker better? No, we just spoke about that. Do people upgrade from electronic to air? You know, some people are talked into it. If you do that, you not only risk getting air into the line, you're complicating things. Two, you'd also lose your warranty. Turkey Sanger. How the is paying $2,000 for a winch or $1,000 for a compressor? You can get cheaper compressors. Thing is though, with that particular ARB compressor, just everyone's made a bracket for it. Everyone knows kind of where they fit, and it's got this shape so it does fit in many places. But if you could fit anything else somewhere else, well, get that instead. It's just because it fits so well. Now, $2,000 for a winch. The winch I got was, yeah, it was about $2,000. Yeah, the compressors, yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, it does seem like a lot because you think there'll be a lot more componentry. I don't know what's involved in making a compressor. Willem Combrick asked me a question about PSI. Please give the metric pressures also. You work in millimeters and kilometers, but pressures in British, in other words, imperial. Yeah, you know what? It's a bloody good point you got there, because I don't know why we all use PSI in Australia. I believe that most people in South Africa talk about bar, like 1 bar or 2.5 bar, where we talk PSIs. Really, we should be talking KPA. And I don't know why we don't. I can't do any of these conversions off the top of my head. Maybe I should start learning those conversions and start talking in KPA and see what happens. What do you guys use? Does anyone actually use KPA? Roaming Ronny will be returning in Adelaide. What dates are on the screen, and then of course in Perth. So we're actually on our way either the Conisu Highway if it opens up, or the Gun Barrel Highway. Take the long way to Adelaide, attend the show where I become Roaming Ronny again, chase down people with a microphone, asking some interesting questions. Yeah, if you've got any questions you think I should ask, chuck them down below. Especially like tricky, funny ones. Straight after the Adelaide show, I'll drive straight back to Perth. A bit more stuff will happen, obviously, because it's hometown. But after the Perth show, something major is going to be dropping right here on this channel. I just really want to tell you what it is, but I can't. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait.